Hi everybody, welcome back to Northern Sounds ASMR. Today we're going to read the local newspaper again because I haven't done this for quite some time. So I'm fully armed. I've got fresh coffee. Cheers. I've got a little glass of water, just in case I get the old frog in the throat. Like that. And the ever-faithful World Globe, which tells you whereabouts I live. If you're in the UK, if you're in England especially, I'm in Wirral, which is just between North Wales and Liverpool. There's a little umbilical peninsula which sticks out between the River Dee and the River Mersey. And we're in here. And I live in a very lovely leafy glade, which is delightful. Thank you very much. So I thought we'd do Softly Spoken. That seemed to go down well last time. And see what we can see in the local newspaper for local people, I believe. And it says World Globe. Your usual copy of the World Globe is inside, because on the outside is I suppose it's a voting thing, and it seems to be paid for by the Conservative Party. On the front it's going on about Wirral vaccinations reach more than 224,000 with 94% of over 50s vaccinated. Now the thing about that is the Conservative Party didn't do that. The NHS did that. The National Health Service. And I know I've had my jabs at, I won't say where, I've had my jabs, and nothing to do with any government of any hue. Solely a National Health Service win, because it is a win. And blah blah, lots of advertising for a Conservative Party local council. So apologies if that was a little political. I'm not going to go there either way. So we'll push that one down there, and then we'll have a little more coffee. Do you like my cups? I bought this Royal Albert Songbird New Romance a long time ago, and basically it's been in a cupboard for the vast majority of that very long time, and now it would seem I'm finally in a forever home. So it seems to have made its way to the fore, and a bit of George Clooney coffee, and away we go. Sorry, I was just checking that lights were on and sound was working in the lights. Okay, World Globe. Trusted news read by 174,200 every month. That should say people. Grammar. But it isn't necessarily, because it's pushed through the doors of the majority of houses in Wirral, because it's a free paper. So whether people read it or not is neither here nor there. So, oh dear, I did this last time as well. Isn't it? Newspapers seem to be full of dour news, as they used to say when I lived in Edinburgh. No, that's far too sad, but we won't go there. So Paul's latest mural is a knockout for pub. So we've got artist Paul Curtis has brightened up the Bedford pub beer garden in Rock Ferry with a huge boxing mural. It's fabulous. Or for those people of a certain age who watch Coronation Street, a murial. And probably if you're under 40, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about. Community heroes given awards for lockdown work. That's nice. These nice people from Birkenhead have been selected by Mecca Bingo, as 3 of the fantastic few to be championed for their community work over lockdown. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I'm being very lazy now, people. I'm putting my feet up, which is exactly what you should do when you read the paper, isn't it? You should put your feet up and relax. 3 community heroes from Birkenhead are among those honoured for going above and beyond the call of duty during lockdown. That's nice. Over the last month, the company asked UK residents to nominate heroes. That's cool. Over the past 12 months, to offer services and help those around them. Nominated by their peers and friends, each winner has done wonders for their communities over lockdown. Well, it's a nice story. That should have been on the front page. Andy created and manages a Facebook group named Wirral Support during coronavirus, which is over 11,000 members. Good for you, Andy. And has provided urgent help and essential services for vulnerable people during the pandemic, including household goods and emotional support. How good is that? That's excellent. I wish I had the wherewithal to do that, don't you? These people are, they tend to be selfless as well. People who get put forward by other people, their peers, their local community. These people just do it for doing its sake, don't they? They tend not to do it to win awards or to be seen as something popular. That's marvellous. There's another lady here who also set up a Facebook group to help those in their local community during COVID. She's also been a volunteer at Hope for the Hungry in Birkenhead for the past 3 years, helping feed those who are vulnerable or homeless. That's just remarkable. Well done. Cheryl German. He was Andy Poynton, and Michelle Bridge. Michelle's social supermarket has become a pillar of the community during lockdown. That's marvellous. What started as a couple of shelving units of food has developed into a fully working system. A network of like-minded individuals and continuous hard work to source groceries, items of furniture, prams and anything else the locals might be in need of. That's marvellous. Mecca's donation of £500 towards each of their causes will enable them to continue doing their amazing work. Well, that's excellent, people, and my hat's off to you. And I have a lot of hats because I have no hair. That's not quite true. I do have hair. I choose to shave what I've got off because I've got male pattern baldness. I remember walking into the bank. This is about 20 years ago, and I used to have long hair, not for vanity reasons, but I used to be a performer, and I needed for a job. I needed my hair longer. After I'd grown it longer, I just kind of kept it. And then it started to thin here, which was okay. You could keep it. So I cut it so it wasn't long, ponytail long anymore. And then when I did, because it was thinning somewhat here, I got it cut sensibly shorter. And then I went into the bank one day and the closed circuit cameras were on, and I was standing in the queue and I looked up at the monitor and I saw a man with a bald patch right here, and I realised that that man was me. So the next day I got the clippers out, and I've been like this ever since. We move on. Thousands have say on plans for town. Oh, that's nice. One of the local towns in Wirral, Birkenhead, which is where Paul O'Grady hails from originally. Over many moons has basically successive councils have just kind of thrown money at this place because they haven't really known what to do with it. And there was a kind of a 1970s shopping centre put in, and then a 1990s shopping centre put in, and the hideous flyovers, and there was no real sense of planning in it. And in the 1980s, like a lot of places in the UK, this area was pretty much devastated for lack of work. And so, like a lot of places, it kind of went metaphorically downhill. And now it seems that what would you call it, a plan known as Wirral Waters is coming along and redeveloping the entire waterfront opposite Liverpool's waterfront to bring it up to modern times, frankly. And there's a consultation, public consultation, is still underway on plans for Birkenhead Town Centre's future. It would be so nice if somebody could just think about it instead of just saying, we'll throw a shopping centre in there and a car park. Honestly, think about things. But I move on. I'm just looking for the good bits of news. I don't really want to talk about the robbers and people who were dying, and the idea is to look through the local paper and look for something that's nice. For example, the main hospital in Wirral is Arrow Park Hospital, Wirral University Teaching Hospital, Worth. And its COVID-19 infection control measures have been praised by the CQC, which is excellent. I think that's marvellous. Arrow Park Hospital staff have been praised for outstanding practice in the way infection prevention and control was managed during the COVID pandemic. That was announced in a new report. Well, that's excellent. Follows an unannounced visit by the Care Quality Commission, CQC. Excellent, well done, Arrow Park Hospital, good for you. And there's an old slipway here. Because if you don't know the area, like a lot of docklands in the UK, and the Mersey especially, was a major international hub. And of course a lot of the infrastructure was built, in the 1700s and the 1800s, and it's in need of a little TLC, I think. A plan to restore a much-loved Wirral Water entrance to its former glory is underway. But the organisers need around £500,000 to make it happen. Therein lies the rub. Rock Ferry Slipway, a Grade 2 listed structure on the banks of the Mersey, is of special interest because it's considered to be the oldest surviving structure to be built into the Mersey in 1820 by Thomas Moorcroft, a ferry owner and operator. Okay, interesting. I do love the news in brief. So you have a wee column in the top right-hand corner of page 5. Shoppers get back to stores. So that's the news in brief, that shoppers are going back to the shops. I was watching a little thing on BBC last night on TV, on the iPlayer, which I hadn't really bothered because I thought I'd seen it. But it's about the US President Richard Nixon and the Watergate scandal, as it became known, and how he tried to usurp his position and not have the law count for him, to be above the law. And it was a marvellous little, it was something like episode 5 out of the episodes. So I'd missed most of it, but it was a marvellous piece of journalistic reporting. Number 1 in the documentary, but number 2 and foremost by Woodward and Bernstein in the very first place to uncover a conspiracy. And it seems that journalists either are unable or unwilling to do the same thing in this present day. That seemed a bit outspoken, didn't it? Anyway, get an instant online quote for your doors and your windows. Marvellous idea. And then they'll say, but we'll have to come out and double check. So it's not really a quote, it's only an estimate. Or if it is a quote, it'll be an enormous, over-the-top quote. Vivid street art is by French design. Vivid street art is by French design. That doesn't really make much sense. By French designer. A vibrant new artwork has been added to New Brighton's Victorian Quarter. The bold design, named Belladonna, can be found on the corner of Virginia Road and Belmont Road. The artwork was created by French street artist Néron, who has worked on murals in Paris, New York and Seoul. Néron said, "It's been such a fantastic experience to create this massive piece in New Brighton and to meet so many lovely people." That's good, isn't it? New Brighton's become quite the fashionable, what's the expression? It's no longer yuppiedom, it's gentrified. And it was really quite grim for a while. And then eventually people started to invest money. Supermarkets, etc., etc. And younger people who have maybe gone to university in Liverpool or Chester have found that this area, which is right by the river, lovely views, with really affordable housing, means they can stay, have children, live in good quality Victorian terrace housing, with tons of amenities on their doorstep and lots of trendy, groovy little shops opening up around them, and it's done really well. And I think because of that, and also because of artwork by people like the Liverpool Film Office, there's a lot of movies being made. There's a movie being made literally around the corner from me as we speak. with Rebel Wilson and others. And the latest Batman movie was being filmed over in Liverpool, and that means it spills over over the river into the likes of New Brighton because of the architecture and the housing and the ability to park a team of wagons around that making a movie requires. Lots of things there. Lots of Harry Potter movies, when sections of them made around here. So New Brighton's really doing quite well out of that. And a handful of years ago, Meryl Streep was walking around Morrison's supermarket doing her own shopping, as is her wont after a day's filming, because she was staying in the area, filming with Hugh Grant. And nobody believed it was Meryl Streep, so there you go. But it was. What else have we got? You must excuse me licking my fingers to turn the pages of the newspaper, because sometimes it just gets so dry-fingered. There we are. Was it worth it? Just a bunch of adverts. Do you qualify for Motability? I don't know, I doubt it. But if you do, look into it. You can get car. That's a great picture. The other side of the Wirral, near where I used to live in Hoylake, and the next town to it is West Kirby. And they are seaside towns. We have massive beaches around that side of Wirral. And we have a marine lake in West Kirby. And it's used for the Wilson Trophy. It's used for a lot of sailing, which gets completely ignored. But there's a really nice picture here of... I wonder if I can show you. I'll just need to... Can you see that? It's a great picture. Juniors sailing up and running again on Marine Lake. That's marvellous. Captured by Camera Club member Anthony Darla. So well done, Anthony. A nice picture there. Very well done. Vaccine jabs hit the spot. 2/3 of people in Wirral have received their first dose. NHS data shows 175,353 people had received a vaccine jab by April the 18th. Excellent. There's a feel-good fishing on the river. A visually impaired man says he feels liberated after being introduced to fishing by a friend who teaches the activity to all comers on the banks of the Mersey. Ben Koba, K-O-B-A, runs Wirral Sea Angling Academy. Cool. A not-for-profit organisation staffed by volunteers. Well, that's marvellous. See, if you look, I didn't have to search too hellishly. There's plenty of upbeat news in the local paper. If you look, it doesn't have to be about murders and hit and runs and all the dear stuff that goes on. You see, there was I, moments ago, speaking about Rebel Wilson, was I not? And on page 13 here, the local paper has the headline, From Hollywood to New Brighton. Hollywood actress Rebel Wilson has been spotted in Wirral as filming gets underway for new feature film, The Almond and the Seahorse. Blah, blah, blah. Although, really, it's, she's an Australian actor. She's not a Hollywood actor, per se. Rebel, best known for her character in Pitch Perfect, has been spotted filming on Victoria Road in New Brighton this week That's the very road I was talking to you about, being gentrified and full of groovy shops. On Monday, parts of Victoria Road were closed for filming while Rebel and her co-star Charlotte Gainsbourg got to work. Charlotte Gainsbourg, who did a marvellous turn in Call My Agent, a French sitcom, really, French comedy drama. Fantastic thing on Netflix. Immensely funny. Very well put together. It's been a privilege to serve. He has been coxswain of Hoylake Lifeboat since 2016, but now he's preparing to step down for the role of a new challenge in the RNLI, and he has been promoted to Area Life-Saving Manager within the charity and takes up the job later this year. Good for you, Andy Dodd. Well done for you. He'll remain as the coxswain on the Hoylake boat, which is because the nature of the beaches that we have here, especially in Hoylake. These guys have to have a tractor, because very rarely does the tide come all the way in. And when it does, it really isn't deep enough to launch a lifeboat. So they have to put it on the back of a tractor and drag it out to sea and launch it. But they save a lot of lives. They do have a hovercraft as well for more urgent, on the sands, quicksand kind of thing. People trapped and the tide coming in. Fascinating place. I urge everyone, if you don't know it, go onto things like Google and search the area. And housing's reasonably priced as well. It's not cheap, but it's reasonably priced. Is that something that, yes, a medical centre's 50k milestone has reached another significant milestone after completing over 50,000 COVID-19 vaccinations since the programme commenced on December the 14th. Very good. Very good for you. And where are you based? Excuse me. The focus of the service has been to target patients registered with the 20 practices which are part of Arno Primary Care Alliance. It's something I didn't realise until quite recently. You must excuse me, I've got the hiccups. That your GP are not part of the NHS. No. And people are coming over from the USA and trying to buy GP practices. Oh yes, they are. I won't get too political, but the NHS is very, very close to my heart. And it's the one thing on this whole planet that separates us from everybody else. And please needs to be looked after. Please. Library space. Boiler and insulation schemes. That's fine. I'm sure there's... I think our Birkenhead Market is open again. Well, that's good, isn't it? These poor places have had to close down, haven't they? No one comes, not allowed in. I don't know how people have survived. Adverts for beds. 2 massive pages of adverts for beds. Adverts for... I nearly said ambulance chasers then. Solicitors. Adverts for windows and conservatories, and it's licking the fingers time again. We've got adverts for bank holidays, etc., etc. Keeping your beauty spots clean, keep it 6 or under, keep it al fresco, keep your distance, blah 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 blah. Do as you are told. Play bowls, race for life, take up bowls. Okay? I hope I will never be old enough to play bowls. Ever. Oxton Society History Group has produced 2 quizzes about Oxton for children and adults if they are having a COVID-safe walk around. The conservation village. The questions are observational and require no particular knowledge. Right. Maybe I'll give it a go when I walk around the village. Mast a monstrosity. A 5G mast is being built in Tranmere, despite being described as a monstrosity by a disgusted local resident. This is the thing, people, as I discovered to my cost, and I mean cost, financial cost. If you've got a complaint or a disagreement with the council and you don't like the lamppost that's going up, you don't like the stop sign, you don't like the building something in front of your house, etc., etc., you can get as many petitions together as you like, unless you have a legal challenge. That is to say, there is paperwork that says you cannot build that there, you cannot build anything over a certain height. You can't put that there because it's dangerous. A properly legal challenge, unless that is, you have that legality about it, a petition will do nothing because these decisions have been made. I know to my cost. Sports school given go-ahead to open. Well, a sports school, a new independent school, has been given the green light from government. Blah, 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 blah. Will gain specialist teaching with world-class sports coaching. Okay. I'm not going to advertise for it. Haunted Wirral. I do love a bit of haunting. Does anyone else, do you like a bit of haunting? I like that kind of thing. I'm a big, spooky fan. I'm going to do a proper video on that kind of thing quite soon, because I love that kind of stuff. Makes me smile. And I'll tell you more when we do it as well. If you like that kind of thing, please let me know, because I'd love to do a specific one for specific people. But you just let me know. I'm going to do one anyway, so. It's a book. Oh, well, I've changed the name for legal reasons. Yeah. Do I believe you? Do I believe you? 8-page puzzle specialist. Puzzles and puzzles and puzzles. 8 pages of free puzzles. Spot the difference. I used to love doing spot the difference as a child. It's one of the few things I could do. I wasn't the sharpest tool in the box. I hope that paper crinkle's not too much in the microphone. How to make colourful hanging baskets from throwaway junk. In your opinion. It's a bit like those makeover TV shows, isn't it? People say, is that a second-hand table? Yeah. Ooh. And I can understand why. The silent health hazards lurking in your home from room to room. Why glow? It's all doom and gloom. Oh, it's a bit more doom and gloom. And then we have pages of local listings, which is great. It's good that the local listings thing still goes on, because not everybody wants to go on the internet, and you can't always find the information you need. Especially on a telephone, you usually need a full-size computer to do that kind of thing, to find out exactly what you need. And there's some jobs in the back page. It's nice to know there's some jobs left. Public notices, goods vehicle operators license. Okay, Licensing Act. Time-served glass cutter. Wow, that's a job. Teacher of humanities. Just I'll apply for that. Dear, dear, dear. Not for those wages. Teacher of Humanities at the Specialist Sports College. That's about to open. That's interesting. Fixed term. Oh, it's maternity cover, that's why. Welding and production operative vacancies. Any welders that's working well? Apprenticeships versus university. Family announcement. Family notices. Bless you all. There's a few pages of that. And then second-hand cars. I used to love flicking through the second-hand car things. It's like lots of people who used to buy the Auto Trader. They weren't looking for a car, they were just looking at pictures. Well, and in the back 2 pages, we've got football. I'd like to say sport, but it's football. And on the back page, there's an advert for Jumbo American Fuchsias. That's nice, isn't it? Little facetious there. Well, I've had a good time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I'll do this again soon. I do mean to do it more often, but as we all know, life gets in the way. So for now, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.